One of my favorite places to express myself online is Instagram. Today I want to talk about what I do, the great lengths I go to make sure that my Instagram stories pop. Good morning, good life. Welcome back to AmyTV, where we come together to help you go after the life you want. I'm very excited to be talking about Instagram stories today. It is literally one of my favorite places to hang out online. I do not do a lot of Instagram scrolling. I definitely spend time checking my DMs, replying to people, liking some photos, but I don't spend a lot of time consuming as much as I like to create. And I think there's a lot of other people out there that feel the same way, and I think it's just such an inspirational way to actually spend time on social media, is create something beautiful to share with the world. In between these videos or podcasts or blog posts, Instagram stories is really where I like to create to continue the conversation and to be able to real-time update my community. So because of this, I get a lot of questions about how I create my Instagram story graphics. If you want to see what this looks like, you can follow me at Schmittastic. There's also a lot of other Instagram goodness happening over at Details Podcast and at GATLUW, so check that out as well. I have a lot of different tricks up my sleeve when it comes to Instagram stories. I work with a designer for some of the graphics, but I also do a lot of stuff on my own. And the reason for that is it is so important that I keep that story alive. It dies after 24 hours, so it's so important for me to have like 10 to 15 segments a day. So I know that there's always something interesting to look at for my community. But that's the main thing. It has to be a story worth checking out. It can't just be 10 to 15 segments of crap. It needs to be relevant. So there is a lot that goes into it, and it's very important that I'm able to do that on my own, which is why I have my own tools for helping me do that as well. Today I want to walk you through one of my favorite tools for making amazing Instagram stories that grab attention, and that tool is also the sponsor of this episode of AmyTV, and that is our friends at Adobe Spark. You've probably seen me talk about Spark in the past. I was so excited when this app came out that I remember the day like it was yesterday, and it was actually just like, so long ago. I filmed, edited, and published a video in like less than 4 hours the day that it was announced that this tool was available, because it was so helpful for us bootstrapping creators. And then I went on to work with them on a couple of other projects, but it has definitely been a tried and true tool for us to use at GATLUW House for making Instagram look interesting. Now, Adobe Spark is not just for Instagram. It's for a lot of different platforms in a lot of different design capacities, but this just happens to be one of my favorite ways to use it. So I highly recommend you check it out. It is free for you to use right at the start. So play with it along with me while I'm showing you what's going on so that you can really see the opportunity for what it can do for you. If you're interested in their premium service, I will leave a link in the description below so that you can get that AmyTV discount, honey. Yes, saving the monies. Before we get into it, if you love being a savvy socialite and want to see more videos like this, I need you to give this video a thumbs up so that I know that we should make more stuff like this in the future. It really helps the channel to be able to help more people go after the life they want as well, so thank you for doing that. As I'm sure is not shocking to you, I have some rules for Instagram design. Yes, rules. I am a rule follower. I love them. When I'm designing something for Instagram, it must follow the 3 I's of Instagram in order to make it to my account. That is interesting, impactful, and inviting. Interesting means that it's specifically tailored for my community. It needs to be relevant to the conversation that we always have on the account. It can't just be some willy-nilly random thing unless I can tie in why that's something that would be important to my audience. When something is impactful, it's inspiring. It makes you think when you look at it. So you're not just watching aimless posts on my account. You're potentially having a thought-provoking conversation with yourself and with me. And speaking of having a conversation with me, inviting means that I didn't just start the conversation and leave. I started it and we continue to have it. So sometimes that means running a poll or asking a question or just going into my DMs and seeing what you think about something. If I'm just posting something just to post and I don't care about your opinion about it, it's totally worthless. This is probably the most important I of Instagram. So interesting, impactful, and inviting. Otherwise, no dice. we don't post. So if you're trying to have a conversation with yourself right now about, I don't even know what I would design for my Instagram, I don't know what I want to post, those are my 3 guidelines. Hopefully they're helpful for you and make you think, okay, well, if I'm thinking like my audience and what would be cool for them to see and make them want to follow and want to watch every story, how can we make something that fits the bill? Okay, so keeping those 3 eyes in mind, I'm gonna pop over to my phone so I can show you Spark on mobile and all of the ways that I like to create with their designs so that I can make sure my Instagram story pops and it fits the rules of a fabulous Instagram account. What we know about Instagram is it's a creative place, so you have to do little things to stand out and be creative, but you can't get too fancy where people don't really know what you're trying to accomplish. What I like for this is going to the animation tab. If you just poke around and look at what they can do, it's just subtle enough that it grabs the eye, but it's not like so ridiculously animated that you feel like you're looking at too much. So what I like to look for is an animation, especially to dress up something like a Q&A. If I'm just gonna pop a Q&A box into this graphic, I want it to stand out, but I also don't want people to skip past it if it's too crazy to look at. I want them to stop and submit their question for my Q&A. So a quick way you can do this, there's a couple designs you can choose from, and you can look through animation to see what the opportunity is there. I'm just gonna go ask me in the search bar. And there's so many in here already. I'm just gonna click this one. Super cute, animated, and you just place the question sticker on top, just like it says. We're gonna remix this template. Now, if you're ever unsure that this is something that is ready to go where you want to post it, click the resize button. If it's not already sized for Instagram story, all you have to do is select Instagram story and it'll resize it for you. No additional work needed, no needing to know pixel sizes or anything like that. We are already in Instagram story, and I actually really like this graphic. I just want to change the text and a couple of things that are going on. So I'm going to tap the text here. We have been loving Playfair in the office. Oh, that looks so cute. So I'm going to keep that there. I'm going to move it a little. You don't want it to get too high to the top because it could hit your avatar photo that Instagram puts there. So just kind of play around with it so that it's your style, but also isn't going to be conflicting with the actual functionality of Instagram. And we can delete this because we already know that we want to put that there. And sometimes I'll use these for AmyTV, so I might put here, you could have your answer featured on AmyTV, exclamation point. Change that text, make it a little bit bigger so it's easier to read. And there you go. You've got an amazing graphic that grabs attention, and all you have to do is pop that questions box on top of it. Let's try that. We're going to export this as a video animation. Go to Instagram, go into our story, and there you go. Now we just need to add the question box. I'm just going to leave this blank because we've already got what we need in here. Size it to your liking, and there you go. Now all those questions will obviously be in Instagram, but this is a graphic that grabs attention more than just a regular screen or photo with the question box. It actually makes it look like you put a little bit more effort into it. Okay, so the next thing that I love to do in my Instagram story is promote some kind of content that I just made. So if it's a video or if it's a podcast, I like to go in here and just look for an easy way to show people that they can swipe up to check something out. Even if you don't have swipe up, you can always put a link in the bio. Just because you made it doesn't mean people are just gonna go listen to it right away. I've got to tell people on my Instagram, go listen to my latest podcast. It's excellent. So what I'm gonna do is I like to look at the premium options here because the design level is a little bit higher grade. And there's a really great one right off the bat, how to start a podcast. We can change this up really easily, throw in a photo, make the colors the right way, and we'll have an awesome podcast promo. We need to remix this template. Right away, I noticed this is not Instagram stories. So we definitely, it's a great Pinterest graphic. We need to change this to Instagram stories. So let's resize that. And so it automatically resized that for us. I'm going to change the background. Background's got to be my favorites. I like this little microphone, but I want it to be white. I'm going to change this to the font that I like. So for this one, I'm going to promote a recent BFF chat that I did on the podcast. And so we're going to pop that title in here. So if you actually go to this animation section, you can see where you can play with the different options to animate what you've already created. So let's just pick one and see what it does here. So with this, I love that because you know there's a BFF chat, but then the title of it shows up later. I think that's kind of cool. So you can see there's like just so many different things that you can do. You can just do a fade, which is really cool because that looks like you edited it in a professional editor. So I'm gonna go with that one. Another thing I absolutely love, if you're a fan of AmyTV GIFs on Instagram, or if you like to call them GIFs, you're fine to do that, I guess. You can add them in Adobe. So if you hit add and you go to add sticker, I'm going to type AmyTV because that's where I have all my GIFs hidden. And I'm going to look for detailed therapy, which I know is in here. And so now I have my little GIF of my podcast logo, and there's definitely things you can do within Adobe Spark. You can add your branding. I just think this is kind of a fun way for me to do it. So I've got it in here as a little GIF, but now I have the logo for my podcast, got a little podcast mic, and I have a promotional graphic for the new podcast when it comes out. One of my favorite things for Instagram is just to give people something to do, something to give them some kind of a thought exercise. So lately I've been sharing sort of like fill in the blank posts that you can post on your own account. And so when you create those, it's really cool because you inspire people to take action in their own creation, but you also get to create something lots of people love to use. You can make those fill in the blank graphics in Adobe Spark really easily. If we just go over to Premium, and you'll see here's one right away. This looks like something I would share immediately. I might add a tiny bit of color to it, but it says my morning, my usual wake up time. I love to, and then include something there, a little weather emoji. You can change up all of these fields to something that fits more of what you talk about, something that's more interesting to your community based on what you like to do on your Instagram account. But I really like a lot of this. My usual wake up time is a really good one. I don't know why I don't have that on one of my other graphics, but for this one I would just change it to say emoji mood. That's what I want that to say. So people put their emoji on that. The background is so pretty. Maybe I'll just change this text. And again, I'm definitely adding one of my morning GIFs. Got my little sun and a little coffee mug. And one more, my lemon water. What you definitely want to add on this is some text that says your handle so that if somebody recreates this on their feed, then they will give you a little bit of credit. So we're going to stick that at the bottom. Kind of small, no big deal. Just letting people know where it came from in case they want to go grab a screenshot of it for themselves. How cute is that? That is so Instagram. I love it. And we want to export that as a video animation because there's so many fun little GIFs in it. And there you go. You have a little design to share on your Instagram story. I absolutely love Adobe Spark for making sure that I hit those 3 rules for Instagram content that really pops and actually matters to my audience. There's a reason why they reply to my DMs and they see my stuff, and it's because I try really hard to make sure that it's something that they want to see. I highly recommend you try Adobe Spark for this because it's a great jumping off point. Lots of amazing templates, as you could tell, that you can customize. Again, free to start, but if you would like to get 20% off your Adobe Spark membership so that you can use those premium templates, which are going to save you a lot more time to get a lot more creative, then definitely check out the link in the description below. Question of the day: what is something that you are passionate about talking about on your Instagram that you want to share more of in your stories? Leave that in a comment below. That's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. Make sure you subscribe for good vibes, kiss the ones you love, and go after the life you want. Cheers. Ellen, you're so right. Change is going to happen anyway, and I love your suggestion of courage. Tom, will you please start that vlog channel? Just take a chance. It's for you, and you just got to know who you're talking to. That's all that matters. Yamila, good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in from Argentina. And Nora, I really appreciate that feedback. I'm so glad to hear this was a pick-me-up for you. Stephanie, get out of your head and into your actions. I'm so glad that resonated with you as much as it resonates with me on a daily basis. Sarah, so good to see a comment from you as always. And Eb, thanks for the feedback on my Instagram post. Stay your ass at home, right? And Rowan, so good to see you. And thank you for tuning in as always.